across from the airport. Stunt plane right there. Anyway, if anybody wants to do an interview, I can show my face and do an interview and not show you. Anytime contact me on my page. I can meet you somewhere and we can do an interview anonymously if you prefer. Number 1, travelers cannot be stopped except for a crime. Alright, Turner versus Smith, 48 U.S., 283, 1849. Most important of all, for a crime to exist, an injured party must exist. The state cannot be the victim. Sharir versus Cullen, 481 F, 945. Fourth Amendment says one cannot be disturbed in their Fourth Amendment peace. That's when you're driving down the road and you haven't created any victim and emergency lights appear behind you, right? Right? That's a felony to use emergency lights when no emergency exists. There's no victim, no crime. It's racketeering for profit. Anytime law enforcement uses emergency lights to write you a racketeering ticket, they are violating the 4th and 5th Amendment and 14th Amendment. Right? I've never been stopped where there was a victim involved. I never hit anybody with my automobile, anything. Every single ticket I've received since I started traveling in automobiles at age of 16, every single ticket was for racketeering purposes under felonious contracts against corporations, by a corporation, for a corporation, my all caps name, straw man. And even he did not create a victim. He who does not exist. State versus Lux, 85 VA 330. An officer has no authority to arrest even a misdemeanor committed in his presence. Right? Right? If you're walking down the road and you see an officer come and you flip him off and yell, "I hate expletive, expletive, expletive." Right? That's not a crime. Right? I guarantee you, Brunswick PD will spin around and arrest your ass. Did you commit a crime? Is there an injured party? The state can't be an injured party, and neither can the cop. You have a right to travel when on foot. That's one of the reasons I get out, to audit the police. Then the straw man contract is not in force. It is common law when you're on foot. They don't want you to know that. And the stunt plane's landing, guys. United States versus Lee, 106 U.S., 196, 1882. No man in this country is so high that he is above the law. The only supreme power in our system of government, and every man who accepts office is bound to obey it. The U.S. Constitution. Law enforcement must answer questions or be guilty of fraud. Benelli versus U.S., 48 U.S. 350. And then, when officers decide that they want to tell a 60-year-old handicapped man with health problems that he can't walk down a sidewalk, and they yell at him to stay back, they are violating U.S. versus Minker, 350 U.S. 179, 187, 1956. What appears to be an unlawful order, but isn't. Adam versus the state, 121 GA 1648 SE 910, 1998. I can come to the aid of the unlawfully arrested, right? I can come up when they're trying to arrest somebody. Who's the victim? Where are they at? You got a victim somewhere else, right? That's coming to the aid of someone unlawfully arrested. If there's no victim and they're arresting somebody, right? They're violating his 4th and 5th Amendment rights. And when you stop to record, the correct case is SCOTUS 1943 Techie Lines versus Danforth. Your right to stop anywhere, because it'd be ridiculous to ticket you for stopping somewhere, right, when you broke down or something. Now, that doesn't mean the officer can't stop and offer to call a tow truck for you, right? But he can't write you a ticket because your car broke down. And yes, they probably would here in Brunswick, because they ignore the Constitution, ignore our rights. They do not honor their oath of office to the U.S. Constitution. They frequently put people in handcuffs who've committed no crime, arrest people, and hold them for ransom. Is this a community service vehicle? Yep. Community service vehicle. They frequently use that when there's a question, like if somebody calls and says kids are being abused at a laundromat, per se, they'll send the community service vehicle to park and record. Right? What's up?
Other night, they charged me with possession of a firearm.
Here, come closer. Well, I won't show your face.
They charged me with possession of a firearm by a prohibited person and an OUI. They did not run my name. They did not let me make a call for bail. And literally, this whole thing, they arrested me.
Well, there was no victim, right?
Nope. I pulled in my driveway and they arrested me.
Okay.
They didn't run my name. They didn't give me a sobriety test. They took me right to jail. I had to pay $860 to get out.
So you were kidnapped by road pirates.
Yep.
Held for ransom.
I didn't receive a summons. I did not sign a summons.
Right. And anytime you sign anything, you want to put 1-308.
And they
Reserve your
they
right.
interrogated Officer Day interrogated me in the back of the car and did not read me my Miranda rights.
Yeah. That's typical. So, what was his reason for stopping you?
Oh, they didn't give me a reason. I went home to get my weed, and fucking they were already at my house, and they arrested my 15-year-old stepson, and they're trying to charge him with assault on a canine, yet the canine wasn't even there.
Right. They frequently will add charges when they know they're wrong, so that you'll panic
So
and
now
drop it.
my stepson is facing felony charges at 15.
Right. Did you all file a complaint that this was unlawful in the way they operate?
Yeah. I'm already speaking to my lawyers because I've been stalked for the last 5 years by Officer Bartlett. I've been stalked,
Bartlett
harassed by
works
him.
New Brunswick?
Yeah. So I figured I like that's why I did
That's
the
why
laughing
I'm here.
face.
Yeah.
That's why I did the laughing face this morning on when they're hiring new detectives. I was the one that did the laughing face.
Okay.
Well, because we had someone steal $30,000 in lottery tickets here, but he's walking a free man, nothing. As Officer Day was the one investigating it. And then I'm catching all these charges by Officer Day, as I'm the one sitting here helping him with this investigation.
Wow.
So I figured I'd let you come down.
Railroad, huh? Did you hurt your custody or anything like that?
Yeah. I was trying to calm my son down, and they were telling me no. As my son's in the other jail cell.
Right. So you were trying to. So they arrested both of you?
Yep. And then I have my medical.
So you pulled over on your own
pulled
property?
in my buddy's. And I pulled in my driveway in my buddy's car. And
how long ago was this?
This was June 19th.
June 19th?
Yep.
Right. Have you FOIA requested through the town?
I already have. I'm waiting on a call right now from my lawyer, and I'm moving ahead with a lawsuit against Brunswick Police.
Excellent. That's what we all need to do. We all need to assert our rights.
Because
you did the right thing. You didn't run from police.
Nope. The
or
harassment
resist.
now is continuing to my family.
What you need to do is, whenever they approach you and touch you, you want to speak it out as loud as you can. Exactly what they do. Oh, he's reaping my arm behind my back. This really hurts. I'm not resisting. You want to emphasize their actions and what they're doing wrong. You want to say it as loud as you can. If they're recording, they have to. And I found out, have you seen any body cameras on Brunswick Police?
Nope.
They have them. They're sitting in their police car.
And they kept turning off the video cameras in the police car.
You saw him turn the camera off in the police car.
Yep.
So that during his interrogation.
Yep.
So there was no recording of it.
Yep.
Wow.
I figured I would just come let you know so everyone in this town knows I'm starting a petition to have these officers fired. So I have a petition going if you would like to sign it.
Yeah.
So, have a good day.
Awesome. And there you have it. More unsatisfied customers harassed by road pirates in the town of Brunswick. Incredible. So they have it, turning off their dash cameras so that they can do unlawful interrogations. Outrageous. All the police are criminals operating under fraudulent Admiralty maritime law on dry land. They are pirates ashore, kidnapping people and holding them for ransom when they've committed no crime. If there isn't a victim laying there bleeding, the handcuffs should never go on people, right? They didn't run. If you didn't run from the police, they shouldn't ever put handcuffs on you because it's unlawful. right? An officer has no right to arrest you until you've committed a crime. Turner versus Smith. And here I got the rest of it here. Arresting and releasing without bringing before a judge. While most of the emphasis on this type of false arrest deals with delay in presenting a prisoner to a judge, the real duty and requirement is the actual bringing, carrying, or presenting the prisoner before a judge. Thus, a complete failure to do this is unlawful and most often occurs when the officer releases the person he arrested without judicial presentation. Heath versus Boyd, 175 SW 2D, 217, 1943. An officer who arrests an individual does not have the authority to place such a person in a jail or other holding place and then later release him. As in my case, right? Arrested in 2020, blew all zeros, no OUI, never saw a judge, was released because I was innocent and no crime committed. Officer Adam Merrill modified his report 1 hour after my complaint of false arrest, where I was never brought before a judge. Harness versus Steele, 34, where the sheriff placed the person arrested in jail for 1 hour, then released him. Brock versus Stimson, 108 Mass 520, 1871. Anyway, guys, great interview. Got more stories. We're going to call it good on this one. I'm going to try and do this some more. Person on the sidewalk. Brunswick, Maine, home of the Road Pirates. All you can do is wait until you come to a complete stop before touching your phone and recording. You have a right to record. Turner versus Driver. Your own traffic stop. But with the no-touch law, you want to make sure you don't touch your phone until the car is shut off, put in park, so that you're no longer driving. If they try and get you for it after that point, you can quote the case law, Turner versus Driver. You're allowed to record your own traffic stop. You weren't moving anymore, and you just wanted to record everything to make sure they didn't violate your rights and turn their own dash cameras off. That was by an eyewitness. You saw Officer Day turning off his dash camera to do an interview so that was not recorded. Right? Hiding your police work. Right? Refuse to answer questions. This is a blue code house. Their policy says officers can't talk to the media. Can't talk to any other department about wrongdoing in their department. If they do, they're fired. Right? Blue code house. Who can you go to? Only the chief and the commander. Right? And it has to stay in-house and they can't talk about it. What does that say? Oh, they're hiding all misconduct. That's literally their policy. Yeah. You have to go through, even an unlawful order, you have to go through command to report that you've given an unlawful order. Yep, that's the kind of evil we're dealing with. Ooh, that was pretty close. They swerved into the median. This Martin's Point here, we've had multiple accidents. The very narrow entrance is an issue. That should have been way wider so you could get off the road at a little bit more speed. Hey, Ken Beckbuilder van. Worked for them for 10 years. That's where I blew out my shoulder the first time, and I ended up with surgery on both shoulders. Part of the reason I use the camera stand is because in the red zone I have trouble. My shoulder's very weak on the left side. Extremely painful to be handcuffed. Cruel and unusual punishment for me is handcuffs in the first place. They are a torture device invented to torture slaves. 504 AD. Hotly debated when it was invented, but the invention was to torture slaves. That's what it was for. In this day and age, with all the technology we have, why don't we have more humane restraints? Why do we have medieval torture devices that are allowed to be used for soft crimes, right? Like an OUI, something like that. Hey, if they're willing to go and be agreeable, just put them in the locked up back part of the car. Handcuffs are totally unnecessary. Most people, if you told them, hey, look, if you go quietly and we go down and fill the paperwork out, you'll be able to bond out, and you don't need the handcuffs. If you're going to fight with us and resist arrest, then you got to go in the handcuffs, right? Torture device is only necessary when someone is actively resisting physically, right? Just because they told you, no, I don't want to be arrested, is not active resistance. All right, guys, I'm out.